Everybody, welcome into Tiger Talks Wrestling. I am your host, Tony, always by our favorite guest, Eddie.
Yeet.
Boss from the Bronx. Yes. And of course, we got Johnny here as well.
I got smoking bone that day.
God, his Scottish accent is so bad. Oh my God.
I know notice because I didn't have the show posted for anybody because we didn't know for sure what time we were going to get started today. But for anybody watching now or later, as we're going to give our predictions here or afternoon rather, Crown Jewel, wherever you're at. It could be morning, it could be afternoon. So, or it could even be in the evening if you're over there or in the UK. But before we go into our Crown Jewel predictions here, we got to talk about the news that came out of WWE today. Of course, there was 3 people that were released from their contracts. Actually, 2 were released, and the 3rd was told that their contract would not be renewed when it expired. The 2 released, of course, from the women's division. One, Tegan Knox, the girl with the shiniest wizard, who we haven't seen on TV in
About damn time.
several months. She got drafted to SmackDown, and I don't think she made a single appearance on SmackDown. Last time I've seen her, I want to say it was in a tag team match, probably with Natty before Natty took her brief hiatus. And then, of course, where Indy's been getting quite a bit of TV time on SmackDown over the last several weeks with Candice. I mean, obviously, had more of the focal point, but still, Indy was on TV in Candice.
Yeah.
And then released as a... Oh, go ahead.
No, go right ahead. I'm sorry, I was squinching with the arm. Sorry.
You're all good. But yeah, the 3rd one, of course, as mentioned, he just was told his contract wasn't going to be renewed when it Baron Corbin. Now, Eddie, you mentioned in our group chat that you were most surprised by. I could see that in a way because of the start-stop you get all the time in WWE. Of course, the different characters we got from Corbin as well. The Lone Wolf, you had bum-ass Corbin, you had B. Corbin, you had the King Corbin, etc. Definitely personas, if you will. And then, of course, he goes to NXT, and we get the new version of the Lone Wolf, so I have to speak at first, but then we got that amazing team of him and Braun Breaker, which was too short-lived, and I felt like they should have did something with that team on the main roster to start off Braun Breaker, even though, I mean, now he is a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, but I still thought it could have helped him out on the main roster to start things off for his main roster tenure anyway.
You know, I agree with you. I always, don't get me wrong. Braun Breaker, he's a Steiner. He knows his math. So I'm gonna say that. Braun Breaker has a great future in the WWE. Like you said it, I agree with you. They should have pushed him as a tag team guy to learn under a guy that's been there. God, how many years was Corbin there?
It had been like 11 years, I think, because I think it was like 2013 that he started in NXT, somewhere around there.
I mean, I said to you in the group chat, I said to you, like, if they were going to release him and not renew his contract, keep him in NXT. He could teach these young guys how to work a promo. Hell, we all know Baron Corbin was a former NFL player. He played for the Arizona Cardinals. Same thing for Breaker. Breaker was a former football player. He will be missed. And, now what is Pat McAfee going to do? I feel bad for the guy. I know he's doing game day now, but, what is he going to do when he come back? It's bomb-ass Corbin. Nope, you're not there.
Okay, so I guess technically his debut was October 18th, 2012. So, 12.
I felt like the worst part of Corbin's career, the man won the Money in the Bank and then he lost it because of John Cena.
To lose the cash-in.
Yeah. He had some great moments. His match, I think one of his big accomplishments, he had a match with Kurt Angle. It wasn't the best,
right?
But it's still Kurt Angle.
Yeah, people will still remember it because it was Kurt Angle's last match, even though it wanted to see, or who Kurt wanted to see as his last opponent. But it's still what we got it as his last match.
Yeah. I don't know what you fellas think.
So, I have had no respect for Baron Corbin since he cut his hair. Once he cut that, all the respect went out the door. However, the funniest thing I remember about good old Baron Corbin is that he's a real strong, tough dude. STD. STD.
Yes, the STD chant against him from Becky Lynch and The Rock on the first episode of SmackDown on Fox 5 years ago. The best promo that came off of SmackDown on Fox, probably, but it was on their first show. Yeah, unfortunately, there's certain things that you wish you could forget that Corbin was involved with as well, and things that you're happy about. He was part of the
Yeah.
I can't hear me.
Yeah.
No. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. You just got to do some sign language.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you. Do some sign language.
But as I was saying, good. As I was saying, Corbin, of course, was with Lashley and Drew against the Shield at one point. But on the flip side, Corbin, of course, is remembered for a different scenario with Roman Reigns. Yeah, dog food, of course, angle
The big dog
involved in there. Yes, tying up Roman on the turnbuckle and pouring the dog food on him. Like I said, some things you want to remember, some things you want to forget. We did get Madcap Moss out of the whole Happy Corbin scenario as well. Some good things came out of Happy. It'll be interesting to see where Corbin goes from here anyways, because I have a feeling as long as he wants to stay in wrestling, he'll probably find a home somewhere.
I think he's going to end up on Impact.
NXT, he shined. I still think he should have been there working with the talent that they had, but they brought him up to the main roster. I just feel that way and all. But, yeah, it's a shame that it's a shame they're not going to ruin, he could always go to TNA and work with Santino.
I think he's going to TNA and they can have that feud with Dolph Ziggler again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Nick does need a new challenger, I suppose. TNA title, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because no one's going to be WWE now.
But other WWE news before I move into our crown jewel stuff. You can't talk about WWE this week without talking about NXT. Amazing show that they had leading up to this upcoming Wednesday's live show, of course, in the what arena are they going to be in this Wednesday?
ECW Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Where is Joey Styles when you need him?
Oh my God! Joey Styles impersonation.
I just want to hear Wednesday night. Well. It's the essence and it's stud muffin. I want to see Joe Gertner there. And talk about every part of his body to the ECW fans.
We do know at least 4 ECW originals, if you will, that will be a part of the show. Of course, we know Bubba Ray in the main event tag match with Trick against Ethan Page and Holland. We know Dawn Marie is going to be their referee in the women's match. Francine's supposed to be a part of the show. And of course, you can't forget Rob Van Dam will be there as well. Hoping after what we've seen on Tuesday night's episode of NXT at the end of it, that RVD will be in a match and it'll be a triple threat with the 2 guys he kind of was in there with. I have a feeling, though, with the way they've been liking it, it's going to end up being RVD as the referee, as we'll see Wesley versus Javon Evans.
True, but can we say this? Actually, do we all think that Dawn Marie died?
I didn't know about died, but hadn't heard about her in a long time.
Yeah. And does RVD have a universal contract with AEW and WWE?
I have a feeling he's probably signed a contract or whatever. They're not calling it Legends anymore. They're calling it something different. He's probably signed a new contract with the 25th anniversary of SmackDown episode in the crowd too. So he was at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, he's making his money not just on RVD merchandise. He's actually making some good RVD. You know.
Yeah. But to talk about the ECW originals, there was one other thing that really stood out on NXT. Of course, we got the in-ring debut of Zarya. And not only that, though, what happened after that match, after she got the victory?
Shit broke loose.
She gets... You could say that. As we get first... Go ahead, John.
We get Fallon.
So you're waiting to say something.
Henley coming down the ring with that belt with the other 2 dumb bitches with her. And then we get
JCG and Jack Nix.
I like the 2
That's
dumb
a
bitches
track.
better. But then we get the boob job Cora Jade and dumbass Roxanne. And then I believe that's when Carmelo's girl, Kalani, joins in to help Zarya. And then we get the beautiful vanishing duo of Julia and Stephanie down to the ring. And Roxanne, 4 against 5? Let's do this. And then the giant siren comes out, and it's Jordan fucking Grace. And then they brawl like bitches do.
Yes, the former TNA Women's Knockout Champion.
can't believe she lost.
I'm not surprised because her contract with TNA is supposed to be up at the end of the year, and to me, this is just her stepping foot in the door. This is just leading into her actually signing as part of WWE when her contract with TNA officially expires.
Like someone else.
Yes, more than likely. We haven't seen on NXT for a while, but we went a while without seeing Jordan too, so a little while. But what do you guys take of that whole segment and the fact that we're getting this 10-woman tag match on this upcoming Wednesday's NXT?
Well, in my opinion, this match should be a War Games match.
I agree.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like, you have so much international star power on one end, and then you have Fallon Henley and her Dixie Chicks.
I mean, one way you could promote this match, it's basically the NXT originals versus the Invasion.
I mean, it's going to be a good match, but, it's going to, maybe we'll have the franchise herself, Francine, be the referee of that match.
Maybe a ring announcer, so who knows, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I had heard apparently it didn't go through, or at least she hasn't been advertised for it, but I had heard that they tried getting another woman from ECW's past involved in a match at NXT next week as well. I haven't heard nothing about her actually getting a match or there being any kind of a open challenge or anything like that. So being the original ECW, not WWE.
Jazz?
No.
Well, we can't say
She went by a different name in WWE than what she went by. No.
Lita?
Yes. There's talks of bringing in Lita for a match in Philly.
Yeah, she was with Roadkill and Danny Dory, right?
Yeah, has Miss Congeniality, I do believe is the name she went by in ECW.
Yeah. You can always bring in Sunny. She could get time away from prison.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
I mean, come on. She needs money to get toilet paper.
I'm sure she does, but WWE don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, I'm sure.
I know.
That was all the other issues that WWE's got right now.
Hey, let's just figure this. If Terry Funk was alive, he'll be there next week, too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. We're not even... WWE and other issues. Of course, Vince McMahon's got his own news that's out there as well, but we're not going to talk about that. That's so... All right, let's get into Crown Jewel. SmackDown got over a little over an hour ago. Got a little news from that, but really it broke after Raw on Monday night. We'll dive into that match later on. Interesting things about it. They had the Crown Jewel press conference earlier today. Did announce what's going to happen with the Crown Jewel championships that will be awarded to both champions. The titles will stay in Saudi Arabia at the WWE, and the winners will receive like a Super Bowl type ring, a huge ring that they can wear for the next year. John, I already see you shaking your head. Not a fan of that, I take it.
Not a fan of that at all.
So my take on it is, I knew they weren't going to have the titles on screen, and it wasn't going to be something that would be defended. But it almost sounded like, from what I read, because I wasn't able to watch the show, I was at work, but from what I read, you could potentially, if one of the two guys, Cody or Gunther, or the girls, Liv or Nia, walk in the crown champion as well and win the match, then they could end up with 2 rings at that point in time. And if they win their matches, and that's how it'll happen, is just whoever wins each year is going to walk out with the ring and the championship, but the title will stay in Riyadh every year. To me, I feel like if they're going to go with the ring wise, then you could at least put the ring on the line, I guess. At certain, I mean, they do go to Saudi a race a year, so why not at least have the title defended in some way, shape, or form at that other Saudi show? But
that doesn't make too much sense.
Yeah.
that's my take on it.
Why don't you just call the ring? Why don't you just call the ring the Battle Bowl ring?
Been here, might as well. Maybe. There we go. That is. But we'll see what comes out of it. Technical issues. Give me a minute. Maybe. Can you even see that I'm saying anything?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, now
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay. Just making sure, because it goes us.
You're in and out a little bit, but we can hear you. We'll just think that we're in a Godzilla movie, Japanese style.
Maybe. I'll have, you know, same old shit, different day. Here we go. Maybe. Done shows, it hasn't been this. Last couple times we've done shows, it hasn't been this big. Why is it not doing it? It says it is. I'll get to you later.
There you go.
There we go. Now it's. So, the first match we want to discuss is going to be from Friday Night SmackDown. This match is one that I'm personally very much forward to. I could see one opening the show. I could see another SmackDown match opening the show. But we're going to talk this one first for right now. Of course, we had the best of 7 series between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, which we never got a definitive winner in this because LA Knight was the referee, and, well, nobody won the match because LA Knight took them both out. So instead, in Riyadh, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, whatever you want to call it, tomorrow afternoon for us, we get the triple threat match, Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade, LA Knight.
Yeah.
Left it wide open for you. There you go. For the United States Championship. What do you guys think of the Bigot taking home the U.S. title?
Well, since you asked, it was supposed to be a best of 7. And I feel like this triple threat, we're still going to get the best of 7 with, not to take your thunder away, Tony, but the new United States champion, Carmelo Hayes. By pinning Andrade, you can have the best of 7.
Interesting take. Yeah, Eddie.
Okay, so first of all, what great chemistry between Carmelo and Andrade. I mean, finally they're putting him into something, but everybody know that he is still Charlotte's bitch. So let's just go there. I feel like we need to see more of the current champ. So I'm going with L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. Off of that, I had seen the favored person to win a triple threat match, actually, who neither one of you picked, Andrade. However, because that doesn't mean nothing just because they're leaning towards Andrade. John's pick come true. I'd love to see him as U.S. champion. I think Melo will be United States champion at some point in time. But I got to agree with Eddie here. And is still in its infant part. I don't think LA Knight's dropping the U.S. title here in Riyadh. I think we're going to see at the end a BFT 1, 2, 3 with everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if Melo wins, I won't say about it. Or Andrade, because it's going to be a great triple threat match. No matter who walks. Halloween, if you will, a day late, but title match. Once it decides to load here, I'll get into the next match.
You still there, Tony? Oh, guess not. What's up?
So, what match are we on?
Okay, next match. It's the match that we've been waiting for a couple of weeks now. you got Seth friggin' Rollins against Bronson Reed. This match had just came back. That it was right the Munster Last Standing match, which Braun Strowman won due to interference by Seth Rollins during a curb stomp. I'm gonna have you, John. Who you got, my man?
Well, you see, I feel like this is going to be a short feud because we're going to see Seth build towards the Punk feud for Mania. So I think Bronson needs this win now. So I think Bronson's going to get the win at Crown Jewel, and I think they'll have a rematch at War Games, and that's when Rollins will beat Reed. But for this one, I'm taking Bronson Reed with all the mayhem he brings.
You know what? This one I had to really toss up with. I was gonna go with Seth friggin' Rollins, but Seth has had his moment in the sun. Bronson Reed been going up and down for the past year, almost the past year, going up and down. I think this storyline, when they build him as this unstoppable force, I do want to see Bronson Reed win, and we don't know what the status of Seth Rollins is. He hasn't had a match yet. So I'm going with bring Bronson Reed for the win, and like you said, we're going to get another match coming up at the Survivor Series or on Monday Night Raw, whatever feel like they doing. I don't know. Tony's with us because he has that Joker face going on right now. But Tony, if you're with us, I feel like I'm doing like a haunted did. Tony, if you're with us, come to the light. You know. Tony, what's your prediction of this? You got mine. Me and John pick Bronson Reed. What is your pick? Who you got? You don't say. John, he already told us. He don't know. Oh my God. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We are having technical difficulties on Tony's end. He's trying out to be the new Joker in the new Joker movie, not the shitty one. So he's he's gonna star as a new Joker because Joaquin Phoenix sucks, by the way. So okay, he said, I guess you can't hear me. My pick is Reed oh yeah, we all picked Bronson Reed. So Tony has come back to the light. We're happy that me and John didn't have to do a Ouija board to find out if he was okay. But let's go to the next match. Hold up, I gotta ask Trina something. Trina, you got the number for the Ghostbusters?
Yeah, it's on my phone.
All right.
I'll call it right now.
Yeah, you are frozen, my man. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Tony, just go with the next one, and then we'll just relay it until you get back on and all that. But by the way, that should be your profile picture right there. You look awesome, buddy. Oh my God. Hey, look, it's the Pat McAfee show. Poor guy. How are we so? How me and you have the best connection in the world?
Not sure.
I know. This is why we have fun on this show, because we just go like, do you hear me?
Are you back from the spirit world?
I know. Hey, Tony, if you can hear us, make sure you don't see Carol Ann, because you don't want to do the poltergeist shit, man. Step away from the TV. What game are you playing?
2K24.
Oh yeah, you know the Kurt Hennigan's coming up. The WCW pretty soon. There you go.
Welcome back from the spirit world.
I know. So how was your vacation? Oh, he went right back in. Oh my god. Oh. He's gonna say, Johnny's gonna say to us, "The hell with you, motherfucker! Get on my podcast. I'll do it by myself." Oh shit. Yeah. We can see you, but we can't. Can you talk and see if we can hear you? I cannot hear you.
I can't hear you.
You know what he's got to do now? He has to become Sammy Guevara, hold up cue cards.
A comedy show. Today, Tony made us go disappear.
Okay, everybody, like you heard, that it's a three-peat. We're all picking Bronson Reed to win tomorrow afternoon at Crown Jewels. Still having technical difficulties here at Tiger Talk Wrestling, and then we just lost our host. It's a pay cut, you know. No, but like I said, coming up, ladies and gentlemen, until we get Tony back on, coming up in this month, we are going to be doing some Survivor Series retrospect shows and we're going to talk about the 1997 Survivor Series, which everybody knows. It's the night of the Montreal Screwjob between Bret Hart and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. We're going to talk about their history from the Rockers to them winning the Intercontinental title to Shawn beating Bret at WrestleMania 12 in the Iron Man match. I think that if John can relate, that was the best Iron Man match of all time. Bret, Shawn at WrestleMania 12. So yeah, keep looking for that. How you doing, buddy? You're
I agree
okay?
with that.
I'm
Okay, next
maybe.
is a fatal four-way match. Yeah. You went all over the place. You went all over the place. You went to the spirit world and never came back.
Well, it was quite an interesting step, to say the least. I mean, I tried to say his name into P. So
You definitely know if Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees down there.
let's see if it loads. And if this will keep working now. You guys hear me, right?
Yep, we can hear you. We can definitely hear you.
Don't hear me. Still don't.
No, we hear you.
We hear you.
That's a good sign. So yeah. Anyway, my take on the Reed Rollins thing is took him out of from the for several months. Comes back, gets his curb son Strowman win the on Raw the last couple weeks, and what we've seen this past Monday night on Raw, the stomp onto the hood. But Bronson, this motherfucker, he gets right back up and comes after Seth and ends up hitting a Death Valley drop.
Oh my God. When Tony was saying that Bronson Reed hit a Death Valley driver on top of the car hood, and yeah, that's a powerful man to get up from a curb stop off of a damn car. I mean, my God. I mean, that man is not human. I mean, what he did on the car hood, I mean, that was an amazing thing that he got up and tried it again and then got Jet Valley driver on it. I mean, it's going to be a good match. It's going to be. I think this would be one of Seth Rollins's biggest challenge. I know he had a couple of matches against some beefy men, but Bronson Reed is a monster.
Yes, and this is going to build him up to be a bigger monster, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Can you hear me at the moment?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I can hear you.
Am I here or am I gone again? Okay. Good.
You're here for now.
For now, anyways. All right. So move on. There might load up the Fatal 4-Way match. This has been building for the last couple months on Raw, SmackDown, and mostly those two shows, a little bit of NXT. You got the NXT upstarts of Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson coming in from Metaphor. And then you got, of course, Piper Niven and Chelsea. Speaking of which, we could talk about that too eventually, but we'll get into that. And then you got Damage Control, or whatever you call them, Kyrie and Io, whatever they used to be called. And then, of course, you got the champions, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. So my question before we get into our predictions for this Fatal 4-Way match for the women's tag team titles, why would Bianca and Jade agree to a match like this when they lost the tag team titles match last time they lost them?
You want my honest opinion? Because nobody gives a shit about these titles. Yes. So let's just put every woman in this goddamn match and put it on a show that basically is around Gunther, the Bloodline, Gunther and Cody, you know, the women's match. This is just a filler. So all these get on the show and do what they do best is who, you know, to me, I don't really care who wins, but if I have to pick somebody, let me just get through this shit. I'm tired of seeing these goddamn tag team titles. I'm gonna go out of the box. If I lose this match, I don't really care. I'm going with Metaphor winning the tag team titles and bringing the titles to NXT. Everybody in this match already had the titles. Break this shit up. Break up Cargill and Bianca and let them fight one another at a later date. I'm just tired of these goddamn titles. So I'm going with Metaphor for the win.
In my opinion, there's only one choice in this match.
It doesn't matter what
choice. Go fuck off, okay? No one fucking asked for your fucking opinion at the fucking moment. It's my fucking turn. You know, with that in fucking mind, I'm going with fucking Damage Control. It's their fucking time, okay?
Go learn a good accent. And then you
Oh yeah.
All righty, matey.
So as I was saying, damage control. Did he freeze again?
He did. He did. Oh my god. Oh my god. Johnny, who you got, my brother?
As I've already fucking said, I have fucking damage control winning this fucking match.
Okay, claro, que programa. Sí, señor.
What kind of fucking bullshit was that?
I don't know. I just made something up.
I don't know who made this Andrade, but he has no hair. What the hell?
I know. Yeah, we just gotta wait for Tony. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry. We're having technical difficulties with Tony's mic. Everything's going on. I mean, next week we'll start our new debut of primetime wrestling with me and John. You know, yeah. And by the way, the gentleman that Cabby Gamer 40, Chubby Gamer 46, I just want to say to you, yeet.
You know who that is, right?
Yeah. John, you have anything else you want to talk about until Tony comes on, like any wrestling or and just anything to kill time until he comes on with his prediction? Oh, okay. Tony just said Jade and Bianca is my pick. So yeah, so we all picked R3. You know, so none of us really care that Chelsea Green and Piper Niven are not going to win. I mean, we already know that. So God bless all of you.
That's
Uh,
because that's because Chelsea Green is trash.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I like Chelsea Green. I think she's a good one, but man, I don't know. It just I understand why you pick Damage Control or whatever they call them, Slimmy, the Pirates of Caribbean. You know, I mean, yeah, I don't really know what's gonna go on with that, but we'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, how it's gonna turn out. I would love the titles to go to NXT, so you could give the other ladies over there a chance. That's the only reason why I picked Metaphor. Because I feel like it'd be nice to see like um Toxic Attraction 2.0, getting tag team titles and winning the tag team titles there. I mean, that'd be great to see. Hey, having Fallon Henley come up to the main roster, I think John will be tickled. The reason
Among
why I
other
picked
viewers as
Metaphor,
well.
yeah, the reason why I picked Metaphor is because of John, because I love you, bro.
What does metaphor got to do with me?
Because that means your girl can come up to the main roster. It's gonna be they're gonna do the Freebird then. And our host is back. Tony, you're all right, my man.
I don't know. I look like I'm frozen still. So am I here?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Or am I gone?
yeah, you're good now.
Can I stay or can I go? Oh, you can hear
This
me?
is the worst Andrade ever.
Yeah, we can hear you. Where the hell is Whoopi Goldberg right now? We need to talk to like. Where's Whoopi Goldberg? So you don't have to say ghost.
In what universe? In what universe?
Where in
Hold on.
the world am I? Oh,
In what universe is Andrade bald?
so
What? That is weird. Well, I added the Motor City Machine Guns to the community thing. They have the old Alex Shelley and old Alex Shelley with that hair that he used to have on the side, hat cut here and the other side right there.
Right. So far, of all the downloaded ones
am
I
I
have,
here?
Andrade's the only one that sucks.
Yep, you're still here.
Okay. So we're gonna move on. I'm gonna try this without having the pictures up there. See if I keep it on just one screen only. If that'll make any difference or not. Back to the Fatal 4-Way match before we move on to KO and Randy. My pick, as you guys mentioned, because I put it in our group in the private chat, is Bianca and Jade. I can see where you're coming from, Eddie. The titles just still, they need to get rid of the tag titles. I think it was stupid of Bianca and Jade to accept a Fatal 4-Way match when they lost the titles in a triple threat match previously. But I think they'll have them actually retain them here, get this reign. Eventually down the road, yes, I see him dropping the titles. I see Bianca versus Jade probably at WrestleMania next year. But we got to get there first, and a tag team title reign will go until January or February, more than likely. But I could say the tag titles would be better off in NXT because NXT division in wrestling, period, right now. If you guys want to argue that, go for it. But that's my opinion on it. So
No, I actually agree.
Move on. You got Kevin Owens.
I actually do. I feel like NXT does have the better women's roster because they're all hungry. Not so much on the
Right.
main roster right now because it's the same bullshit every week. I mean, and I know they're bringing up Metaphor, but they can bring up other girls from NXT to be on the main. They can be part timers. They don't have to go on the road, but just get a fresh face up there.
Yeah, every so often would be nice. All right.
And I'm going to say this, and
I
you
did
could
see
totally,
Kevin.
you could say this. Since there's no Becky and there's no Charlotte, and this is no offense to the ones that are really working hard on Raw, the women's roster lacks talent.
I agree, especially with now Rhea Ripley is out of action for a couple weeks at least, if not longer, with an orbital injury. So I feel like Monday Night Raw is really hurting and needs a top face for Liv Morgan to go up against because be the one who's next. Io's busy, and so is Kyrie in the women's tag team division. Natty just came back and is supposed to be in this rivalry with Sonya and the other girls, wherever that or Raw just shit with you got that big roster. But I digress. Who else is there that they can bring in to challenge Liv Morgan for the women's championship that you would actually women's world championship rather that you would actually has a shot at winning the title?
Returning Alexa Bliss.
That'd be about it too, though.
Yeah.
No other woman on the Raw roster is really up in them, in my opinion.
I would have said Lyra Valkyria, but they ruined her quicker than eating oatmeal.
Right? Yeah. I think John picked damage in that match. I was watching SmackDown earlier, and I told Hope, I said, I can tell you who I'd love to see win this match, but I'm not telling you who my pick is because it's too different. Because I'd love to see Kyrie and Io win, but I just feel like Jaden Bianca will retain. I know I've seen some people have gone online and said potential matches for Liv, and they've included Bianca and they've included Lyra and a couple other women here and there, but I'm thinking, Bianca's technically on Smack. He is one half of the women's tag team champions. I guess they could have her challenge for the Raw Women's title then, because she can show up on Raw. But how do you not have Jade involved as well? So that's just dilemmas they got to figure out going forward if Rhea's going to be out of action for quite some time, and they're still trying to give Becky all the space that she's wanting right vacation. But if we're not careful, you mentioned Alexa Bliss coming back, John. They might bring back somebody else that Eddie mentioned a little bit ago and just have her go right after the title. Although I don't think they would on Raw, but I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures. Who else do you go to win a women's title match? But woo! We know she's getting close to returning. I think last I seen she was supposed to, so here we are.
Yeah.
All right. But we'll see where that unfolds. So we'll move on past the women's division. I mean, we could talk about the women's division. We will talk a little bit more about it soon. But let's go into this personal rivalry on SmackDown that we've seen develop over the last few weeks. Of course, Cody Rhodes also involved in this rivalry. But Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. And I'm just going to start with this part. The whole thing is Kevin turning on Cody because Cody sided with Roman and decided to team with him against the Bloodline. I still feel like, and guys before, this is all leading, not only is Kevin going to turn on Cody, but this is going to lead to Randy turning on Cody in that match that we're all expecting at some point at the Royal Rumble or Perfect, but from last I heard, Cody's supposed to go against somebody else at WrestleMania, unfortunately. But we're still going to get Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton somewhere down the line. I mean, Randy, again, on SmackDown tonight, was looking at that WWE Championship and mentioned something about, he said he didn't know how to repay Randy or whatever his exact words were on SmackDown backstage. Only has his eyes on the WWE title after failing to win the World Heavyweight title. But that all leads us to this match between KO and Randy Orton. What do you guys got? What do you think of this whole rivalry that's built around Randy siding with Cody supposedly and KO being very not happy about Randy's decision?
Johnny, you want to take it first?
I'll let you go first this time.
Okay. My opinion, I gotta say, what great work by the WWE with doing this heel turn for Kevin Owens after Bad Blood. Doing it outside in the parking lot, him attacking him. What a great way to turn somebody heel outside in a different way so the fans can get more into it. I'm getting into it. My opinion, I feel like you have to let this brew a little more because Cody's not involved in it. As of right now, I am gonna go with Kevin Owens beating Randy Orton tomorrow afternoon. I feel like Kevin needs a win. He's been off of TV for a while. He's pissed off. You feel like his friends turned on him. And yes, like you said, Tony, we will get eventually Randy Orton turning on Cody and having a match down the road. But I got to go with KO because I feel like it's not going to be we don't know what it is because we haven't seen KO since the attack outside the parking lot on Randy Orton. So I got to go with KO.
Like Eddie was saying, I mean, KO, he's heel. I mean, it's his first big match as the heel. He's got to win. He needs it more in this character right now, and which means unfortunately it's going to be a Randy Orton loss. So I'm going with KO for the win.
So here's the thing. You say part of what you said, Eddie. Yes, KO could use the win, but I can't say that he needs it more than Randy does. Randy Orton won at Survivor Series when he returned. Randy Orton has not won a single premium live event match since Survivor Series War Games last November. So if you ask me, Randy Orton needs it just as bad as, if not worse, than Kevin Owens. Because KO has won on a PLE since. However, I do agree with both of you.
I agree with that.
However, I do agree with both of you. Kevin Owens will pick up here over Randy Orton. No curveball at you, though, here. Yes, I mentioned the other part at the beginning of this, but what if, leading into that Randy Orton-Cody Rhodes match down the line, we're all expecting Randy Orton to turn heel? What if Cody Rhodes is the one that pulls the trigger and does the heel turn in this rivalry? He's picking up on Randy's WWE Championship.
Well, I mean, who better for Cody Rhodes to turn heel on than Randy Orton? I mean, Randy Orton was his mentor. He showed him, like, that was who took him in and all that. So to learn how to be heel for one of the best heels and then turn heel on that so-called heel would just be genius and creative and perfect storytelling. So I would love that.
Here's my opinion. I love the way you say Cody would do it. I don't see it happening because Cody Rhodes has put himself in a position right now. He's the new John Cena of the WWE. His t-shirt sales are up. Kids love him. Do you really want to ruin that kid aspect by turning him heel? If he wasn't the WWE champion, yes, I will turn him heel. But as of right now, if he's going for that John Cena look, I don't see it happening.
So here's my thing. You brought him up, the GOAT, John Cena. John Cena is back in the picture. So do we have to have two John Cenas, so as to speak, in the company? We already know John Cena more than likely is going to go into WrestleMania and win his 17th World Heavyweight Championship or WWE Championship, whichever that may be. Cody Rhodes has gone on record of saying that the main event of WrestleMania is something that's going to be very unexpected, even with the rumors that people have out there. So it's, to me, almost sounding like the main event for WrestleMania 41. Everybody's saying it's going to be Rock versus Cody or Rock versus Roman versus Cody. What if it is John Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania? And we get Cody
I
Rhodes
would
heel
love
turn
to see.
him Royal Rumble, perhaps.
Okay, that's where it gets a little tricky at the end. But here's another twist. If Cody turns heel, you got Arn Anderson back in the fold. You got Kelly Blanchard back in the fold in WWE.
Yes.
Do you have Cody make his version of the Four Horsemen?
Right? It could be interesting.
Because
There's all
there
kinds
is
of what
rumors, I don't know if it's true.
ifs here.
You got guys that Cody has been around in AEW. Ricky Starks might be coming to WWE. You got Ethan Page.
Right?
You got Sean Spears. And then you got, hopefully they change his name because he sounds retarded. Lexus King, Brian Pillman Jr. Put them in and put them in with Cody. You don't have to be, just call them the Horsemen. It don't have to be the Four Horsemen. It could be the Horsemen. That would be a power team. You got speed. You got guys that are hungry. You know.
John, I seen you over there shaking your head. What's your whole take on all of this? Of course, it's all pretty much fantasy booking for now because we got months to find out what's going to happen. But
I feel like the main event match or Mania is going to be Cena Orton. I don't know how they're going to get to that, but I feel like it's going to be Cena Orton.
I don't know. I don't think Cena's taking the title from Orton, but I think Cena is winning a world title either way.
Well, then have Cena get the match at the Rumble. Cena wins at the Rumble, takes the title from Cody. Have Orton get his third Rumble win. Give Orton his third Rumble win. Orton chooses Cena. You got that match to headline Mania. That way,
around you could have Cena win the Rumble.
Yeah.
And have Orton win the WWE title before then.
Yeah.
But yeah, at some point in time in 2025, I feel like we do have to see Cena versus Orton, whether it's for the WWE Championship or not. Just like hopefully we'll see like Cena versus Punk, Cena versus maybe Breakker. Who wouldn't love to see Cena and KO again, for that matter? But nonetheless, all fantasy. Like I said, we got to get past Crown Jewel tomorrow. We got to get through the rest of 2024 and get into 2025 before we can fantasy book wrestling, if you will. Of course, we could always end up with the pivot again as well when it comes to wrestling, like we did this year. So, better laid plans can always change. All right. But we picked Kevin Owens to beat Randy Orton. I agree with you guys. It's the first match with KO was technically as a heel, even though KO did get the better of Randy Orton on night. I still think that's going to lead to KO getting the win here. Like with a stunner or he cheats and uses powerbomb or whatever. We'll see. But we'll get to that anyways. Next match on the docket. I think we can raise some ones to this one, if you will. As we got, of course, main event, Jey Uso teaming up with Big Jimmy Uso, in the OT Roman Reigns the original Bloodline, the new Bloodline, in a 6-man tag match. But which 3 members of the new Bloodline are going to be in this match? Because they haven't technically put out there which 3 of the 4 will be in this match. Could be Solo and Jacob and Tama Tonga. It could be Solo and the Tongas. It could be Jacob and the Tongas. They haven't really specified, as far as I know. Nonetheless, 6-man tag action, new Bloodline versus Bloodline, all kinds of drama leading into this match. The new Bloodline cost Jay the Intercontinental Championship, of course, we've seen, which led to Jay coming over to SmackDown to cost the Bloodline the tag team titles, the Motor City Machine Guns, race between the Usos. And this past Monday, those hatch things out. The new Bloodline comes in and they get taken out by the Usos, the greatest tag team of all time. Whether you want to admit that or not. And then tonight on SmackDown, we, of course, get Roman Reigns deliver just one word during the whole promo after the Usos both get their say, their word, their piece spoken, if you will. What was that one word, Eddie?
Yeet.
And then Jimmy Uso, decides to take it upon himself to raise the one first. Then Jay raises the one. Finally, raises the one as well. The big caveat here, of course, well, we'll get more caveats, but Jay wanted to make sure that Roman knew right-hand man. He's not going to be a lackey. He is still main event Jey Uso. He is his own man. And this is going to be all on equal footing. They're not yes men for Roman this time around. But I want to backtrack a little bit to Monday Night Raw. Because the Usos were on there. His good friend still with Sami Zayn. But what did we see last from Sami Zayn and the Usos on Monday Night Raw?
He was talking to Solo.
Exactly. So what does that do for the Bloodline match tomorrow at Crown Jewel? Will it play a factor? Will it not? What do you guys got? Who do you think's winning this blind Civil War 6-man tag match, if you will?
Well,
Okay, my prediction. Oh, go ahead, John.
with the build up, because after this pay-per-view, we have War Games.
Right.
We all know it's going to be a Bloodline War Games. So I feel like to make this the big story you want it to be, the great value Bloodline has to get the win tomorrow. Whether it's they add another member and like we finally get the debut of Hikuleo, or a shocking thing happens where Sami Zayn turns heel and joins Solo. One of those things could happen, and I feel like no matter which one does, Solo's team is going to win.
Well, John took part of mine, and then I was just going to say the Bloodline's going to win. So either way, I would have won. You know, like I'm picking the Bloodline.
No.
I'm not going to say which one.
You can't do that.
I was just going to say the Bloodline.
That don't work. That doesn't work. That's not no.
I tried. I tried. I gotta go with John. I think you have to give the new Bloodline a victory because they just lost to Roman at Bad Blood. you got to give that the Sami Zayn factor. I think it's just. I think Sammy is a spy. Is a spy to see what Solo's gonna do, and he's gonna be part of the OGs at Survivor Series. So I gotta go with the new bloodline for now.
I'm gonna make it 3 for 3 because I've also got Solo's bloodline winning as well. Yes, they have the 4-on-3 advantage, but you bring in Sami Zayn as you mentioned. I think we find out Sami's with the bloodline all along. But Solo always seems to have a plan, and I think that there's going to be a new member of the new bloodline coming in and helping them win this 6-man tag team match. Whether it be Hikuleo, whether it be a Zyla Fatu, or it be somebody else from the bloodline lore, who knows? But it'll be whoever the 5th member of their team will be in War Games. And then over the next couple weeks, I think maybe another family member. More than likely, I feel like a family member will be brought in to be the. I mean, you can't throw Paul Heyman in there as a favorite. I know there was talks of Cody being. I don't see Cody. Happen. Brock Lesnar is still blacklisted right now.
Holy shit! They got a Colonel Parker.
He's gonna be busy. I feel like with some series. What was that?
They're gonna Colonel Parker, Cody, Paul Heyman to join the OGs.
Might, you never know. I think what I could see happening potentially is once Paul Heyman comes back on screen, he'll return with whoever ends up being their 5th member. And we find out that Paul's been helping out behind the scenes all this time, coming up with somebody to bring in. But we shall see what happens. I just feel like it's going to be a great War Games match at Survivor Series at the end of the month. Who knows? Instead of that 5th member, eventually you could see the Great One show up in Saudi as well.
Oh. No, hey, it could happen.
I mean, Solo did is all part of the plan. Is what Solo was telling. All right. Now we go into the semi-main event. The Women's World Champion versus the WWE Women's Champion for the first Crown Jewel Championship. Yeah, of course, John's favorite, Liv Morgan, the Women's World Champion, with Raquel Rodriguez in her corner, going up against the WWE Women's Champion, the Irresistible Force, Nia Jax, maybe with Tiffany Stratton in her corner, but tonight put a little wrinkle in that because Tiffany did come out and say she was putting both women on notice. She could potentially cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase on either one of the two at Crown Jewel tomorrow night. What do you guys think of this whole situation? I mean, Nia's been kind of put a bit over the last few weeks. Who do you think's winning, and why do we think Tiffany Stratton's in Money in the Bank tomorrow night? Or tomorrow afternoon?
Okay, so
I just know you both are going to go there.
I am going to go with Nia winning. Nia Jax is going to win. And then Raquel is going to attack her. They're going to beat her down. And then you're going to hear, it's Tiffy time. And then she's going to look They're all going to be in the ring. Nia's going to be on the floor. She's going to look at. It's going to be a shot. Liv is going to look shocked and like, okay, what's going to happen? She hands the referee the briefcase, and then she goes on and pins Nia and becomes the new woman's champion. I feel like it's going to be something that she's going to run down and cash in, but be like, okay, who do I cash in to? But I feel like Nia's losing the title, winning the crown jewel ring, but losing the women's championship to her former best friend, Tiffany Stratton.
What you got, John?
I have two scenarios in my head. It's which one do I go with? Which question?
Ooh, I like that idea too, but I'm going to stick with my original.
I'm
Let's
going
add two different
with my
scenarios.
gut. I'm going with my gut. During the match, Nia Jax and Liv Morgan are both down. Out comes Tiffy. Doesn't say who she's cashing in on. Cashes in. But then she gets hit with a Tahana bomb on to Nia Jax. It's during the match. So not only does she become the world champion, she's also the first woman crown jewel champion.
How is that not? Well, it comes a triple threat match when she cashes in, so that's how. I was going to say, how does if Raquel's getting involved?
Because it becomes a triple threat match.
Right. As long as she waits till after the match is official.
So I'm risking it. I'm going. That's my answer.
Thinking somewhat along those lines. That she cashes in triple threat and wins both, but I'm going to go with my other thought. You guys still hear me, right? Who told me, oops,
Yeah.
lost connection again. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to go with my original thinking. Actually, it's the same as Eddie's. Nia Jax picks up the win, beats Liv. Afterwards, she gets beat down by Liv and Raquel. Liv and Raquel even leave at that point, but then out comes Tiffany, cashes in the contract. Tiffany Stratton walks out of Crown Jewel, the new women's champion. You look at it, all three of us have Tiffany Stratton walking out of Crown Jewel as the WWE Women's Champion. It's just whether or not will she win just that title, or will, as John predicts, she walk out as Crown Jewel champion as well and take that ring home as well. And if she does cash in on Nia, make it clear. Does she have to make it clear which title if Nia wins the Crown Jewel championship?
I would not want to do it in a triple threat match because then it could ruin. Then it could ruin Tiffany Stratton's cash in. I always like when it gets cash in after a beatdown or after a match because it was already planned today at the press conference. Nia was talking shit about Raquel and they almost got into it, and I see it going the other way because I feel like Tiffany don't need the Crown Jewel championship because it's not a championship she's going to bring back to the United States. It's a championship that's going to stay in Saudi.
Right.
You go for the big one. You go for the women's world champion, for the women's world championship. You go for the women's championship. You're bringing that back, and then You see how she does as woman world champion. We know how she was as NXT champion, until Becky beat her, but she had some great matches in NXT as the world champion, and I want to see. She's been great since she's been up on the main roster. So I feel like she don't need the crown jewel. She wants the big prize, and that's the WWE Women's Championship.
So here's my question then. If she does after the match, though, which do they have to specify that it's the Crown Jewel Championship she's going after, the Women's Championship? If she wins and does say it's just the Crown Jewel Championship she's going after, I mean, that's for a year, nonetheless.
No, I feel like when
if she can be,
I feel like they announce it. Nia Jax wins, she gets beat down, and they proclaim her as the Crown Jewel champion. Then the beatdown happens. Tiffany comes in with Raquel and Liv outside the ring. She looks at them, gives the briefcase, cashes in, and they say it's for the Women's World Championship. Pins her, wins that title. Nia goes home with just a battle ball ring.
Okay. I guess we'll see what happens. Because I mean, you guys were both wrong about her cashing in at Bad Blood. We could all three be wrong. She might not cash in tomorrow either. But if she was I feel like if she's already there in Saudi, then she's got to cash in. I mean, why else would she be there when we know there's issues between her and Nia?
Yeah.
So, but we'll see what happens. I will say, I feel like, I mean, we talked at length about the Raw Women's Division earlier. I still feel like the SmackDown Division, even though they've lost Indy Hartwell now, I still feel like the SmackDown Women's Division is going smoother or better than what the Raw Division is right now. Raw Women's Division's got so many more women on the roster. Because you've got Tiffany, you got Bayley, Naomi, Candice LeRae is being built up. You got, of course, SmackDown. It's just a loaded roster. You can see it happen there. And Michin as well. And Chelsea and Piper. But we'll see what happens. That Tiffany face turn is definitely coming, and more likely today at Crown Jewel. And perhaps that Naomi heel turn that some of us are expecting is coming soon too with that. Speaking of Naomi, I do want to mention her potential heel turn that's been talked about. Bayley did get knocked into Naomi during their tag team match at one point tonight. That potentially could be another lead up to her turning on Bayley, because I have a feeling that's what's going to end up happening when she does turn heel. Is Bayley's going to be the one to feel the wrath of Naomi, so as to speak. Even though Naomi
hopefully it's a better heel turn than the first one.
Which first one? I don't remember Naomi as a heel before, really. Other than part of Team Bad, I guess. But
yeah, when she beat up on Paige.
Yeah, her and Tamina and Sasha.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. So now we move on to the main event of the evening, or the afternoon for us. World Heavyweight Champion versus WWE Champion for that Crown Jewel Championship. Of course, the World Heavyweight Champion representing Raw is the Ringer. Of course, the WWE Champion representing SmackDown. The man on my shirt, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. All right, guys. Who do we got in this match? The first Crown Jewel Champion. It is a first time ever singles match between these two men. Of course, the last two Royal Rumbles Cody Rhodes has eliminated from the Rumble match.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Thursday, I hate that this is the way we're getting Cody versus Gunther for the first time ever.
Okay, so this one's a toss-up with me because they're both good. Okay? I mean...
Right.
Yeah, Gunther's WWE World Heavyweight title run is not at the peak yet. Cody's been champion since WrestleMania. We know it's gonna be a hard. We know Cody Rhodes is gonna look like a tomato tomorrow afternoon. I'm gonna say this, and I hope it's not gonna think I don't want to bet against them, but I think the ring general is going to win due to outside interference from Kevin Owens. I feel like Owens is going to get involved in some point in that match and cost Cody the Crown Jewel Championship.
God's rubbing his hands together. He's got something up to find.
You know, I agree with you 100%, Eddie. There's going to be outer developments, shenanigans per se. Kevin will get involved and cost Cody, but that won't be the only shenanigans. As they're announcing, Gunther is the Crown Jewel champion. Goldberg
Don't say it.
comes down and spears him, and that's how we're ending the show. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't want to say. I didn't want to say Greenberg. But yeah. I know that's gonna happen eventually.
They haven't signed anything for him, but who knows? I thought about agreeing with you guys. I mean, the odds scene at one point are leaning towards Gunther winning, but Gunther got the better hand. Gunther was choking him out to end the show. A lot of times when something like that happens on the last show before a premium live event, that person loses the match. Not always, but more often than not. Cody's a golden boy. Gunther's number 2, I know, but still. I agree. I see Kevin Owens going after Cody either during the match or after the match, but I just think somehow, some way, shape, or form, Cody Rhodes walks out as the first Crown Jewel champion. Picks up the win over Gunther. But again, this is a match I feel like should have been saved for a WrestleMania main event for first time meeting against each other. This should not be in Saudi just because of all the money that for a champion versus champion match. This match, as I said, should be main eventing WrestleMania instead as their first time meeting. Here we are. I'm going Cody wins, KO attacks the man for the match. So that's my prediction.
Yeah.
At least we won't have to see that Jewel Championship god awful title on the TV every week afterwards, though. But a lot of people claim it's beautiful. I personally, so I don't know about you guys, but
it's okay. I feel like it's a version of the the AEW Women's Championship.
Well, they did reveal in the press conference that they do have 2 separate titles as well, even though they've only been showing one leading up to the press conference today.
Yeah.
They do have a separate title for the women.
And I saw it today at the press conference. It's white with all the other stuff, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like this Crown Jewels is going to be okay, but there's some question marks coming out of it. It's going to be a lot of figuring out to do before Survivor Series at the end of the month.
That is true. Very true. We'll see what happens. Eddie, you took it upon yourself as I was in and out. I heard to mention some of the shows we're going to be doing. I'll go over the list here because I have made a little bit of a list so that we can keep our viewers informed as to what we're going to be doing. Today was, of course, the Crown Jewel prediction show. Should be a good show. 7 matches. Nice that we get 7 matches instead of just 5, by the way. Oh, I do want to bring up something else about events in a certain act that hasn't been on one yet, but we'll get into that in a moment. So, every series retrospectives that we're going to be doing. Now, I've gone over the list. We're going to have 4 shows for that leading up to the Survivor Series. And then, actually, the 5th show would be the Brett and Shawn rivalry. We'll do the first retrospective, which will be talking about 1987 through 1996 Survivor Series. We can either do that this upcoming Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever day works better for you. We'll decide that off air because I do have something else I want to throw at you two for Tuesday, potentially. So I'm kind of leaning more towards Wednesday, for that matter. 10 o'clock or 7 o'clock, whichever would work better for you. I don't know if Wednesdays are fine with you. I know you do church stuff sometimes. I don't know on Wednesdays if you do or not. But
no, I'm out with this.
Okay. So if Wednesday's good, then we'll probably do it on Wednesday, like around 6 or 7.
Well, we
first
forgot.
retrospective.
We forgot we have to do it before the ECW Arena show, which is Wednesday.
Yeah, so we'd have to start at like 5 or 6 then. You're right.
Yeah.
We can start at 5. That's no big deal. But I don't feel like it's going to be a 3-hour long show, but you never know because that's a lot. It's 10 here and there.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm looking at, it'll be definitely on Wednesday the 13th is when I want to do the Shawn Michaels HBK Bret the Hitman Hart rivalry show because that's the day I've got off. I've got Wednesday and Sunday off, I think, next week, or Wednesday, Saturday, something like that for some odd reason. And I was looking at the 16th potentially, which is, that Saturday that I have off for I don't know what reason, but I do. To do the 97 through 05, and then either the 19th or 20th we'll do part 3, and then the either 25th, 26th, or 27th. I have 3 days available. It depends on what you're doing because that's the week of Thanksgiving. So I know you said you were traveling for Thanksgiving, so
I'm not.
Not no more? Okay.
No.
So we'll look at the date. It'll probably be the 26th or 27th, that Tuesday or Wednesday, but we'll see. Will be our retrospective for the 15th through 2023. Of course, what are we doing on November 30th, though, on the day of Survivor Series War Games? Eddie, I'll let you take that way again.
Well, we are. What did I just sound like? What the hell did I just sound like? Todd? Like I sound like Doc Hendricks. Well, Tony, John, you will be coming to the home of the 2024 American League champion New York Yankees fans' house to watch this year's Survivor Series from Vancouver, British Columbia. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry, Canadians.
You got it right. They're in Vancouver. But we'll be doing, our prediction show. We'll be playing on live from his house. And we will watch along again, just like we did for WrestleMania. We got a lot of views for that. Nobody's really said what they thought about it. I know we weren't fully on screen throughout most of that, but you could still hear our reactions. So we're hoping to have that a little different, though, too, because without some different camera things that we're planning on trying instead of doing it the exact same way we did last time. So you guys will have to wait and see what exactly we come up with. Again, of course, that's November 30th, the last Saturday, the day of Survivor Series War. Look forward to that. That will be, at that point, will be the end of the contest for this year to see who takes that final gift. I know you were talking before we went on air about doing the other, which we can do that too. We'll see. We'll talk more about that eventually. But
No,
so that's different. But yeah. So look forward to seeing Mount Jewel, see how everything shakes out leading into Survivor Series. I have a plan for a couple different releases because in December, John, perhaps you can help us out. What is returning WWE wise in December that hasn't been probably about over 10 years? Well, maybe not 10 years, but it's been quite a while anyways. I want to say 2008, somewhere around there. It'll be in the Nassau Coliseum.
You talk about Saturday night?
Uh-huh. What about a Saturday night in December? I'm putting him on the spot. He's not ready for it. It's Saturday night, but of course, on Long Island.
Jesse the Body
So,
Ventura.
More than likely, yes. It's that way. So we'll plan on doing a retrospective show, and there's an old WCW show that happened in December that we wanted to talk about as well. What was that pay-per-view called again, Eddie?
It was called WCW Starrcade.
Yes. It was their version of WrestleMania. And many big moments happened in Starrcade. We'll talk about several of them, including one that the Stinger, of course, became a big name for. Many people remember, I think, still to this day. Johnny, you might not remember a whole lot of WCW Starrcade moments. Some of them, yeah, some no, but we'll get into quite a few anyways, whether or not you're there.
Who doesn't remember the greatest Starrcade of them all? The Viagra on the pole match.
Yeah. Yes, that was a thing, folks.
And ladies and gentlemen, the one that John talks about every time I see him, the Judy Bagwell on a forklift.
Yes. He's like, no, just no. But anyway, I did send the chat earlier. If he's still watching or if he watches later, thank you for coming. Appreciate seeing you anytime. If you want on a show again, just hit me up at some point. You know that. I should know that. We miss our loose cannon. But anyway, with that, you guys got a little bit of an idea of what we'll be doing for shows going on soon. Thank you guys for coming in later. We will see you guys. We're out of here.